What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Quick 60 Sports. Today, I want to give you an update on my mock draft, my top 11 picks, and then I'll go through 12 through 32, the first round and the first round in the next few days. The draft is coming up. It's Thursday, April 28th. So, without further ado, let's jump right into it. And I'm going to share my screen with y'all, and I'm going to go through my picks as far as this is kind of without trades, but I'll tell you who I think is going to trade in the in the in the real draft. So right now, obviously, it says they need D-line, linebacker, safety. They need a lot of different people. But first, overall, I believe scouts have also said that Aiden Hutchinson, he's 6'3", 231. He had 62 tackles, 14 sacks last year. He has a high motor, and I think he's going to be a really good player for the Jags. You know, they do like their edge rushers, the defensive end, also linebackers. So he's going to go to the Jaguars. Next, you have the Detroit Lions on the clock, and then a quarterback, a linebacker, or ends and DBs. That it's a high offensive line, defensive line, safety class as well. Reports were that they don't like Kayvon Thibodeaux right now, that they're kind of down on him. So let's see. I have them drafting Trayvon Walker from Georgia, second overall. He had a phenomenal pro day. I mean, numbers were just jumping off. And so they could also use a interior defensive lineman. They got Penny Sewell early in the draft last year and, passed up on Jamar Chase, and now they're going to get Trayvon Walker, a defensive line guy. So they're building through the trenches on out. I like that. The Texans, they could trade down right here on this pick with the Saints, possibly Steelers or Panthers. But I think that they're going to keep this pick. They might trade down on their later pick. We'll talk about later. But they're going to go, I believe they have two options right here. And I think it's either Evan Neal from Alabama, which I like. But I think that they're going to go DB as far as they need a sound corner. And I think they're going to get Sauce Gardner from Cincinnati with that third overall pick. The Jets, they need some help as far as like outside linebacker, DN type guys, and receiver. And they have two picks, I think, within the first 11 picks overall. So I think they're going to address those two. It just depends on which side they want to go and really who's taking second and third. So, if they like Sauce Gardner, and I think that's one of the reasons why the Texans would draft him if they like him, because the Jets will probably pick him at 4 if the Texans will pick him at 3. So you have that right there as well. However, like I said, the Lions were down on Thibodeaux, but the Jets, however, are not. I think that would sure up a defense for the Jets, drafting Thibodeaux at 4 overall. I think that would help with their outside linebacker DN spot. The Giants are really interesting. I think that they're going to go offense and defense. They have a couple picks in the first round as well. I could see the Giants trading down as well, but I like at 5, they're going to go ahead and get, let's see, where is he at? Where is he at here? I think I passed him up. They're going to go ahead and get an offensive lineman. Here he is right here, Evan Neal. He's ranked 7th overall. So getting him right at 5, that's not bad value. He's 6'7", 360, and you're going to pair him with Thomas on the other side. That's going to be huge for the Giants and company. Saquon getting some running lanes, coming back from an injury. I think it's going to help the offense out tremendously. So looking at number 6, the Panthers are on the clock, and they have a lot of different options, but it's really interesting because Matt Rule, I think he is in a do or die year right here, and they missed on Deshaun Watson, they missed on Matthew Stafford. They need a quarterback, and I think that if they get a rookie quarterback and he can be serviceable and they can push for the playoffs, that might save Matt Rule another year. So it just depends on which one they're going with. And I think that they're going to reach. There's going to be a few teams that reach, and I think they're going to go ahead and get Kenny Pickett 6th overall to the Panthers. And I think that, he broke all kind of records. He broke Dan Marino's records at Pitt. He had a 67 completion percentage, 4,314 passing yards, 42 touchdowns, and 7 picks. Obviously that the hand size is an issue with pro scouts right now, but I think that he is serviceable enough. And like I said, they wanted Deshaun Watson, and I think that they're willing to take that risk, especially Matt Rule, knowing that he's in that last year, or else he's going to get fired if they don't do well. So I think that's huge as far as where the Panthers go. And they don't have another pick, I believe, for a few rounds. So they need a quarterback. They need a staple of their offense. So the Giants are on the clock right here. They traded with the Bears, and they need O-line, edge, and linebacker. But being the Giants, I think that they're going to go with best player available. They took a top offensive guy. I think they're going to take a top defensive guy next. And I really like Kyle Hamilton. Whoever gets Kyle Hamilton has huge, tremendous value in this draft. But I think they're going to go ahead and get Stingley, knowing what the Cowboys offense and company. I think that they need a top corner like Stingley. He started as a freshman at LSU, and he didn't have as great of a year last year without Joe Burrow and company as he did the year before last when he did have Joe Burrow, but he still was a top-rated corner in the draft. And so I think that he's going to go to the Giants at 7 overall. Now you have the Falcons at 8. I think this is a premier opportunity for the Falcons to trade down in a real-life situation. I think that they will. But right here, look at all the needs they need: quarterback, guard, center, defensive line. So I think that they would trade down in this position. But if I'm picking for them, I think that they're going to go actually defensive line, DN right here. I think they're going to get George Karlaftis from Purdue. He had 36 tackles, 4.5 sacks last year. He's 6'4", 265, has a high motor. I think that he doesn't need to go at 8, but that's why I think that the Falcons would be smart to trade down right there. But if you're picking needs, I think that's where the Falcons go with that pick. Now you got the Seahawks on the clock at 9 from the Denver pick, trading Russell Wilson. And obviously they need a quarterback, tackle as well. Their offensive line was atrocious, and some defensive work too. So kind of all over the board. They still have some decent free agents, quarterbacks as well. They have Drew Lock at quarterback right now. But I think they're going to go offensive tackle here, and out of North Carolina State, get Akeem right here. And really, I think he could be a staple left tackle for the Seahawks. And so I think that's huge if you get your left tackle for the next 10 years at number 9 overall, and you still have a plethora of picks coming up. And the quarterback class, I think that it was a down as far as the down year goes, and they need a quarterback. So why not? Don't reach, like the Panthers in my mock draft, but wait, trade down, or get your staple left tackle for that quarterback that you pick in the later first round, second round in the draft that's going to start for you, or compete with Drew Lock, I should say. So now you got the Jets on the clock, 10th overall. They still need a receiver, linebacker, corner. Kyle Hamilton's still sitting there, but they're not going to get Kyle Hamilton. I have actually Drake London. You got Garrett Wilson or Drake London. I have Garrett Wilson actually, believe going to the Texans 13th overall, but I have Drake London, and I do like Drake London a lot as well. I have him going 10th overall to the Jets. He had 88 catches, 1,084 yards, and 7 touchdowns, but that was only over 8 games because he broke his ankle, if you remember last year. So, that's tremendous value. Only can imagine what he would have done in a full season. He's 6'5", 210. Pro scouts kind of are on the fence about him both ways because he doesn't have that top end speed that you would want a receiver to have, but he has that big body capability like Mike Evans and Michael Thomas. So that's what they're kind of counting on him doing in that position, going up and getting those balls and getting a great red zone target as well. And so last, guys, on my video, the 11th pick overall, and I'll make another video later. Please subscribe down below so you can stay updated with my picks and sport updates as well. I really appreciate you watching the full video and taking time out of your day to support my channel. But 11th pick overall is the Washington Commanders, and they are going to be the one to draft Kyle Hamilton. And he's a 2nd overall prospect. It's huge for them, out of Notre Dame. He's 6'4", 216. He had 31 tackles and 3 picks last year. And actually, he reminds me of a lot of Landon Collins, that box safety coming up and hitting you in the mouth. And I think that's where Washington wants to go to. They want to go to that gritty defensive Sean Taylor-esque style. And I think that he will provide that. He reminds me a lot of Landon Collins. And they pro scouts actually said that he might move down to linebacker just because he has some issues in coverage with those fast receivers or fast tight ends. But I think that he is smart enough to get in those positions to make plays. And I think that he is a playmaker. And I really, really, really love Kyle Hamilton in this draft. So I think that the Commanders could still. Let me know what you think of your top 11 picks overall in the draft. I'll be back on the next few days with my picks 12 through 32 as well to cap out the first round. But let me know what you think in the comments down below, guys. I really, really appreciate your time. And until next time.